So, it's none other than your boy here again, trying to work on a poster, which I promised to do. Thankfully, I wasn't in too much of a chatty mood, so I kind of went live without sending out alerts to people. So, I can freely talk about my process without any second thoughts, which is what we have here. So, without further ado, so right now, as you can imagine, you've probably got your line art. This is for those of us who have seen, in fact, if you scroll down on my page, on my profile, you can see that we've got a cell poster line art sticker right there, a button. If you click on that, it should take you to where you can get the line arts. And this one in particular is the first one you can see there. So once you have that, you've got Procreate, you've downloaded it to your system, imported it to your Procreate file. You can then join me. You've probably colored it with whatever colors you want, and you can now join me in getting this rendered. So first things first, hide the colors, right? You don't want any distractions, do you? And next things next, you select the outline. You see that what I do is there's a random file that just circles everything, after I get the line art. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I get the line art, and what I do once I have the line art is on the line art layer, I use the select tool on automatic and select outside of it. You see where the pointer is? It's outside of it. And I select until it's a fine near 100% in the top. You see the slide bar there? Near 100%. And that's on the outside. Then I invert it. So then the selection goes on the inside. Excuse me. On the inside. And I create a new layer at the bottom. Then tap on that. Then fill layer. So whatever color I'm using is what color fills it. I like to use white because that's it's easiest to work with when you're trying to shade and render, which is this white one I have here. But obviously on a white background you can barely see it. So, but yeah, that's how we got there. So once I have that, I will bring back the details, and I move in from there. So on a new layer, let me hide the colors again, and details are distracting. Like the spots are my personal touch on this form. He doesn't have the spots. I just wanted to put it there so I can be like different. And then, hey Christian, I didn't even see you there. Welcome. Nice to have you. Are you doing the draw along, or are you just keeping me company? Because I like to be kept company. But this is the draw along I said I'd be doing, but like today I wasn't just feeling like I wanted to do a test one where I just record it and anyone who comes later can just access it and just see what's what, so I don't have to answer questions immediately. But just for the first one, I'm just showing people how I do my work. So I select the white at the bottom, then on a new layer I set that layer to multiply. I usually use 6 layers of renders for maximum cleanliness or detail if I want. But sorry, the music is a bit loud, isn't it? For maximum cleanliness or detail, but like that's not always the case. So taking notes for my own style. Rendering is something I want to get better at. Okay, that's no problem. That ain't no problem. We live and learn. So new layer multiply. Multiply is the best thing to use for shading, or at least for applying shadows, I feel. So remember I said 6. So this is clipped. I'll tell you why this is clipped in a second. Then I get another one at overlay, because overlay I feel is a very nice is ideal for adding highlights. Some people like to use ads or hard lights, but personally I love the overlay option and the opportunities it brings. So I group all that. You see, working with groups allows you to very quickly navigate your piece. You see that? If I want to hide just cell, that's that. If I wanted to focus on the background or whatever else, I could just easily get rid of cell instead of like going layer by layer, hide that. But like, you know, because it's in a group, I can easily just ditch everything I need to ditch. You see that? The colors are all different, but because it's grouped with the, you know, tap of a part of the screen, and it's all gone. So next things next. We have myself grouped the layers for multiply. I hide the distracting bits at the bottom. So I want to get shadows on this. So I set this to reference, or actually no reference, because you know what it is. You want to select in piece. So now that, like I said, first thing I select this thing at the bottom, the white bit. That's when you select the line art and invert it, and the white thing you have at the bottom is in fact the base for your renders. That's what you use as a base for renders now. This is a new style I've tried to start doing, by the way. I mean, obviously there's Pedakin. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. You know, your support means a lot. We got 199 followers now. One more and we're at 200 followers, and you know, so on and so forth. We keep going to the moon. So let's keep that up. As I was saying, we select the base, start at the very bottom with the multiply. So what I'd like to do first of all is select where I want the light to be. So this guy, as you can see, has light coming from the top. I will move this around to just symbolize where the light is coming from. This isn't permanent. So you see this cell, let's imagine that this is light, yeah? So the light bulb. So the light bulb from cell is coming from here, right? Just to give us a better, more accurate representation of that, I'll just, for the sake of the point, I'll just do some to support that statement. So you see that? Light bulb. So that light bulb is up there, and we have cell down here, and we want the light to, you know, naturally I wouldn't do this, but like for the sake of the point I'm trying to make anyway, that's why I've done it. So if the light is up there, then the shadow by default, right? Set the multiply, because like I said, multiply always for shadows, will be down here, right? So you can see it's lighter up here and it's darker down here. So next things next, we want to use that as the basis for rendering this piece of cell. Let me get this behind so it doesn't affect how I'm looking at this canvas. But sometimes it's good to keep it. I'll group that, duplicate, so I can have it on top as well. This is how I'll keep track and make sure that you know, what I'm doing is accurate to what I've done underneath. This way the background supports the top, right? So moving forward, we've got the base here, we've got the shadows there as well, and we move forward from that in that regard. So like I said, select the white, make sure that's always selected. See that's how you know it's selected. There's this fuzziness around, there's this fuzziness everywhere except from, you know, where you've selected. So that means whatever you do is not going to leave the fuzzy area, it's not going to leave the selected part. See that? I'm going wild with this, but it's not going outside of that, it's just staying within the white because I've selected that. So now very softly with the Soft Airbrush 3000 available on Gumroad, you can get that via the link I will eventually add to the page. Hopefully that helps. But like, yeah, with that we can get ourselves some shadows underneath the boy, right? So because the light is here, the shadows will be down here. Because he's scrunched over, right? He's scrunched over. We've seen that the shadows are on this side while the light is on this side. So, you know, just when you think of an object, the shadows just form on the opposite side of where the light is. Then you can add some extra shadows just to be dramatic if you want. But like for now, this is what we're doing. So the part furthest away, like if you draw a straight line, here's the top and here's the bottom. So the part at the bottom furthest away should be the darkest, right? Because that's where the light goes. That's where the light isn't. So then after you've done that softly, which is what I would do, you then start, you know, adding the details with the studio pen. That's if you want to draw like me. You have your own ways, I have mine. But personally, I use the studio pen for shades as well. And similarly, you know, like I said, at the back of your mind, you're like, this is where the light is, and this is where the shadow is. So mentally, you have to keep that in your mind. Wherever you look, that thing is meant to follow you everywhere. So as I'm drawing the head, if I just focus on this head part, the light is here, shadow is here, right? If I'm working on his hands, the light is here, the shadow is here, right? If I'm working on his back, the light is here, shadow is here, right? So just keep that on every single thing you're rendering, and things should fall in pleasant places for you. So let's go. I got this started, and you know, I'm just trying to shape out where the shadow would be in this regard. Alright? There will be light here just bouncing off because his forehead is kind of, you know, raised as well. Got those eyebrows to come out, so you got to respect that. So because without the lines, yeah, what you would see I've done is outline a shaded area. You see that? So that's what it looks like, just along the shape of his face. So that way, if I drag the color, you see that? I'm from up here. I drag the color to the part that I've filled out. You know, a shadow is formed. You know, I can do that. Then when you bring the light back, you see that it's kind of nice. So I'm able to do that because there is no reference layer. It doesn't reference anything, yeah? So if this is what the reference looks like. You see a reference underneath that. But when you don't have a reference, you know, whatever you do, you know, it's just, you know, when you drag and drop or when you color, it's just, you know, by default, just going to work with that layer. But if you had the reference turned on somewhere else, you know, it's going to work according to that. So you see what I did just now, when I dragged and dropped that and it filled there, it was successful because it wasn't referencing anywhere else. But if the reference was like on the line art, yeah, if I dragged and dropped, see, even though I'm on this layer, if I drag and dropped, it would have done the whole thing because it's referencing just the line art. It doesn't see the shadows I've done. It doesn't see the shadow I outlined. All it sees is this line art layer because it's called reference. It said reference that. So if I remove that reference and go back there and drag it, all it sees now is the, you know, shadow that I've outlined. That's all it sees. That's all it sees. So when you reference it, that's all Procreate sees, you know, what you've referenced, for lack of a better term. So now I just drag and drop that, fill that out, clean it up, and we have what I want to feel is a good enough shadow for the top. So as you can imagine, the eyeballs as well follow a similar idea, that the light is here, the shadow is there. All right. The mouth as well, it's underneath. This is going to be the darkest part because he's facing downwards as well. So you can imagine not much light is going to be there because he's turning away from the light. The little cockroach. And just to respect that, we can just make sure everywhere on this side is dark. See that? Now you look at that. Now you're seeing a shape. There's a shape is forming. That is a semblance of respect for light and dark, rules of light and dark. So as we go on, we make the most of this situation, and hopefully we are happy by the end of this piece. So going by that same logic, we're back here. We're wondering where the shadows go. Very simple. This is like a cylinder. All right. What we have here is like a cylinder. So when you're working with a cylinder, right, on the inside, you have the darkness here. The darkness is on this side and the light is on this side, right? When you think about it, that's what this arm is. It's a cylinder. So if you have that in the back of your mind, when light touches a cylinder or like a cylindrical surface, you got, or like a tube, the shadow is down here and the light is up here, right? So you just use that for, and this as well is another cylinder. So when you're working with cylinders, like I said, if the light is coming from this angle, you got this place in shadow and this place light. This is a different kind of shape, right? And we will get to that in a minute, but for now, keeping in mind that it's a cylinder, we just move forward with that idea. Just sip some coffee. Some cold coffee. And get to work. So we got that. Fill that up. See that? Shadows on this side, lights on that side. But it's not just a straight cylinder, so you have to be considerate of the fact that some parts will need some extra type of attention to detail, or some parts won't. Now, just to really give that sense of shape. You get me? So I'm gonna use a big brush since I'm dealing with pretty much the basics of what it takes to draw this shape. And as you can see, Bug Boy is getting some shape. We're happy. Everything we've worked for is coming together. So we keep going and we can appreciate, ouch, the fact that, ouch, things make sense. Ouch. That was my ear for some reason. But yeah, let me know as well I want to give a shout out to you guys for sticking by and just being supportive. Thank you. Ouch. As we continue trying to make the most of this piece. So shout out to you guys. You can tell me if it's not making sense as well, like, even though I would rather not, but like, if it's not making sense, you let me know, and I'll do what I can to make more sense. So yeah, we got that, and we try to not be distracted by the powers that be, which is, I don't know either. I hoped you knew, because then I kind of dug a hole for myself, pretending like I knew what the powers that be were. A shout out to the powers that be. So next thing's next. This part of his body, as well, as you can imagine, going by the cylindrical idea. I am not a teacher, by the way. Like, I suck at teaching. That's one of the reasons why I haven't for so long. But like, I'd rather teach someone like in person. I hate the idea of having to teach or educate over a long outside of a physical realm. It just feels harder. Like, you're not so sure if what you're saying makes sense or if it's going in. Some people might be talking shy. You could see that if someone is shy physically, but like, you're not so sure. And it's behind a screen or computer or whatever. But hopefully, none of you guys are shy, and you get what I'm saying. And each and every one of you is talented in your own ways. This is for the people doing the draw along. I can imagine that a number of you are artists as well, and you just would like to do this for a bit of fun and to, new ways you can approach stuff. So what I used to do before, like, I've spent a long time looking at my old pieces. Like, if you go to my page on Instagram mainly, you could go and see the time lapses I used to post. I looked at the way I used to render, and I realized that I was, in fact, shooting myself in the leg with my old approach to rendering. I thought I was being smart. I thought I was being cool, but like, I couldn't be more wrong. I'm big enough to admit that I made mistakes because I wasn't paying attention, or I thought I was being, smart or whatever, but I wasn't. Just digging myself a huge hole. And now that I have learned a new way to do things, it's crazy, the potential I can aspire to. You know what I mean? Like, the sky's the limit now. Like, I used to be worried about things before, but like, now I feel more confident when it comes to approaching certain things to draw or whatever. Oh crap, I forgot to talk about what I'm doing. So as I was saying before, you get new shapes and sizes. Like, you have to isolate it. Like, sometimes when you're drawing, you have to think about a way to isolate what you're looking at. Right? For example, you guys see I'm seeing the whole shape, but like, every time I'm drawing something, I isolate it in my head, so it's just that. So that it's just that I can see. Like, for example, I'm working on this toe, and mentally, I've erased everything else, and I'm just focusing on this toe. So to focus on this toe, what I gotta do is, keep that in mind, and the light is here, the shadow is here, and I just go like that with the render, and make sure that, and when I get to the next stage, we're like, okay, the shadow is here, so this is darker, and the light is here, so this is shinier, right? And you know, mentally, that's just how I move, you know, around the whole piece. You know, that way balance is, order is kept, balance is restored, and I feel better. It does put a smile on my face. So that's what I've done here. Like, even though I was drawing everything as a whole, mentally I've isolated every single bit and part of this little guy so that I can, you know, have some semblance of order when I'm rendering. So remember, always select the white whenever you want to render, and go on to the renders and just, you know, go on from there. Today's the 27th, nothing to worry about, just keep going, Daff. So what's next? It's a very early morning for me. Yeah, what time is it? It's 11:57 a.m. That's very early, because it still says a.m., so it's still morning. So whoever wants to make me feel bad about it. There, you really? Some people want to give me shit for waking up in the morning? Really? That's why it's still morning. I mean, right? Right? I just got up at like 11. Some people want to make it seem like, oh, why is he getting up at 11? So much of the day is gone. It still says morning. I wake up in the morning. Is that so bad? Do you really want to demonize me for waking up in the morning? Really? Is that what we're doing? But yeah, it's not. You know, it's morning is morning, man. If I wake up 11:59, I still woke up in the morning. Ain't nobody gonna make me feel bad. Right, stream fam? Right. Then what we have next is, in fact, some more of this and some more of that. So as I've said, in my mind, I've isolated every single section of this piece. That way I can focus on being a badass. So you can imagine this sack on his back, back sack, is actually quite the texture. It's kind of bumpy. It's kind of juicy. You want to pass on that idea while you're working as well. So why not just give us some more in the renders to make us appreciate how bumpy it is, right? So take this as well, give it the shape it needs, and that works out, right? So now we get there, do that, right? Do that, right? So each layer has its own step. And you see that already mentally. It may not be bumpy. This is a 2D image you're looking at, but now mentally you're seeing some shape, right? Look at that. Looks nice and bumpy. Nice and bumpy. So mentally you got to know what you want from it as well. You want it to look bumpy, then go in round shapes. You see that? If I went like sharper angles, you're not gonna feel it's bumpy. You're gonna feel like it's rocky. Like, for example, if I went like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you see that? You're not gonna feel like it's round anymore. You're gonna be like, it's like it's carrying a cobalt. I don't know why I went for cobalt, but like, you know, it's kind of still a bit round, but like just more sharper. But when you use round lines, you feel that softness to it, like you could just squish it, like the bug it is. Roach-Cell is what I call it. But yeah, thankfully when I draw now, I have this at the back of my mind that it's kind of like carving. So I don't mind going wild with my strokes, because at the end of the day, to refine it, I will erase one or two things. See that? And of course, the light is on this side. You see, that's where the brightest light is. So there's less shadows in the area where the brightest light is. You see, the closer we are to the cell light bulb, the less the shadows get. Right? That way, we can be rest assured that no tomfoolery is going on. And then, of course, we have the very bottom. Remember the very soft shades we did at the beginning? Those are still there. So we move on with that. And so now we have a new layer on top of the first shades we did. We're going to call that, we're going to clip that. You see that? I used a clipping mask. Then when you do a clipping mask, the little arrow on the side of it forms. And that means whatever you do is going to only affect what's below. And what's below is this. So for example, I draw this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go outside. Where's it going? Is it going outside of the shadow? Is it going out? Yeah, but see that? All it does is affect what's below. It doesn't, anywhere that, you know, the layer below isn't, it's not going to care about it. It's just going to keep going, only to affect what's below. That's what a clipping mask does. That's what a clipping mask is. It doesn't affect the, you know, anything outside of what's drawn in the layer below. Right? So with that regard, we can safely shade within the lines of, you know, what we've drawn below. So we start there. And again, you can use the color drop as freely as you want, because, well, because there's nothing to interrupt you, since there's no reference layer. So like, it only responds to what's being worked on at the moment. So with that same logic, the further away from the light, you see, now that you've, you know, lined up your first layer of shades very well, you know where your light is, you know where the bright part is, you know where the dark part is. So all you have to do is just highlight that. Just work with it, you know. That's what the first layer is. It's meant to guide your second layer of shades. You work with it. So the same way we avoided the cell here is the same way we'll avoid the edges here. You know? And there we have it. So likewise, you just follow that principle all the way through. Now I'm just speed up the process here, since I've said what the main bit is. Shout out to people that watch stuff on ×3 speed. We don't got time to waste, so you know, we just got to keep moving. Got to go fast. Hey, Sheldon, sup? What up? You alright? You good? Damn. That's acid reflux. That is bad. I am fine, by the way. Don't even get it twisted. I am a picture of health. Don't need to worry about me at all. Oh, that was embarrassing. I'll just put all that in shadow. And thinking about the shades. Do I want more shades? No, I don't, because it will not work out. This is shiny. So is this. Let's make it look shiny. Okay, what more do I want? That's not too shiny. Get this is a bit shiny, so add some extra exciting bits of lines and eyeballs shiny. Well, I'm done with that. Something I'm thinking about is how to make the most of this. So, in fact, what I'm gonna do is less light. Alright, because this is in fact also behind some form of protection. So now I cannot afford to take my pen off the canvas because I've initiated what I call the single stroke style. I'm just trying to make stuff up as I go on, trying to sound like I'm a master of my craft, but like, because it's all I'm using is the same brush, but I've turned down the opacity, I cannot show you in this pass the ramifications of breaking the rule, but hopefully I can finish this without any hiccups, and I will freely show you why I call it the single stroke rule. Yeah, you see that? That's what happens. And I almost made it. I got too greedy. So in the single stroke, because I am in fact drawing on a layer that is already done, what I did was turn down the opacity. So because the opacity is turned down, stroke is brighter, but if I cross it, it gets darker in the middle. Cross it again, it gets even more darker. Cross it, and it's way too dark. So it's basically like painting with a brush. And now if I undo, it's going to take the whole thing away. I don't want that, so going to have to freak it. So what I've now done is use this shade as my main brush color, and swap that out for this shade as my second color. So now, to all intents and purposes, I am painting, which is kind of sad because that's not at all what I wanted to do today. But I guess the Munchkin kind of deserves it, right? So that was fun, but I don't want to do that again. So I'm going to have to be extra careful this time that I go into the opacity mode. That way I can get shit done rather quickly. Gives a new definition to the term bug eyes. Anyway, that's done. That's settled. Now we can move on to the more serious parts about heights. That wasn't me, right? So as you can imagine, the clipping mask above is reacting to the transparency of the layer below. This can also work as an effect for, ambience when you're looking at sunlight reflecting off some luscious skin. Do with that information what you will. But for now, we are moving forward. Okay, so now that that is done, we can now do some more shading for the extra dark bits, which can be found down here. So I'm using the Soft Airbrush 3000 once more to, in fact, tweak out the bottom area, or the areas, in fact, that I want to have more shades done. Excuse me. And that is, in fact, working to the favor of your boy. See that? Nice and shiny. So, because the colors are still underneath, whenever we show them, it's blending nicely and smoothly, right? So we can keep going. I'm gonna hide those back so it doesn't distract us. Like I said, distractions, we don't want any. And now we are at the important part, the highlights. So what we can do, because this is white and the background is kind of black, we don't want that to be too dark because we can't really make out what we're working with. So what we instead do is turn down the opacity of the white until it's a nice soft kind of gray. A nice soft kind of gray. And following the, what we've done with the shades, we can know where it's going to be light. Alright, the first layer of overlay, I set that to like a mid-grade between these two somewhere. And that is then sorted out. So I get from where this big cell, you see the big cell sign is, I just start building my case from there. Go on, go on, go on. Because that's where it's brightest. So things that are looking at the brightness, those parts get highlighted. You know, the parts that you're shading left, the bright spots that you left in your shading, you could just go fill those up with the soft airbrush, very softly. Very softly. And so you're left with kind of a blobby shape like this. That's what it looks like, you know, the highlights. And on the next layer, excuse me, with the studio pen, again, I like the studio pen, you just go in and go ham on the very brightest bits. See that? Hard as a bro. Disclaimer. Knowing how I do things is no guarantee that they will be able to be done, you know, lickety split. I mean, sure, it's one thing to know how something is done, but being able to do it is a whole other thing. For example, an airplane pilot can be like, this is how I take off. I flick this button, flick that button, check the comms, check the radar, do this and do that, and then I pull back on the thing and we can take off, right? So they can give you that whole walkthrough about, you know, how to fly a plane from point A to point B, but you know, that doesn't immediately mean that you can do it again. You know, you with that information doesn't mean it can be done, because there's other things that they do mentally when flying that, you know, it's kind of hard to describe. So they can't necessarily, not because they don't want to, but like, that's what experience is, right? That's why they call experience, because, you know, you can read something, know how to do it, but like if you've not been doing it constantly, you're not gonna have a verified way, you know, of which you do it. So with what you've seen me do on this little cell, you can practice on something else, like any of the other cells that I have in the line art folder, or, you know, any other line arts, in fact, that I've made available. Or you could draw something yourself, something with a more basic shape like R2D2. I love R2D2. And see what you could do with that, and just practice, and, you know, see where you could get to while trying to hone your skills. You know, pilots would be like, go try flight simulators, see where you can go with that and whatever. But like, I guess I would say just try and keep practicing these shading methods whichever way you can. Because Bug Boy here will be watching you. Doesn't want what you've learned today to go to waste, right? We are an hour in and we're almost done. So we can hope for the best that this would be taken too nicely, right? But yeah, I mean, those of us watching this as a replay, you have to understand, there's no hard feelings. I just didn't want to, you know, do this with a lot of people being like, that I have to be cautious of if I'm making sense or if I have to cover a lot of things. Like the few people in here, they've been so nice, they've been so quiet, not necessarily all too struggling all too much to understand what I'm saying, but I guess that's because, so far the two people that have spoken are artists themselves, so this is basic stuff I'm covering, which I'm confident, or I feel from what I've seen in their work that they are aware of anyway. So other than that, it's a smooth ride, which is what I wanted for the first draw along or color along or whatever. But yeah, hopefully the next one we'll be drawing the big first form cell. Not drawing, we'll be rendering cell's first form, and we'll be using the same kind of process. So if you've seen this, at least you can get a start on that one. Then anywhere you feel stuck, by the time the next part is up, you can just refresh your memory, refine your notes, and learn a thing or two about how to overcome adversities when it comes to drawing. See that? CG? It's quietly taking down notes. Quietly taking down notes. Might I add, quietly. Might I emphasize that quietly aspect. So obviously there will be times where I could be like, yeah, let's have a conversation about how this is going, and we can talk about that and just be like, yeah, that's helpful and whatnot. But yeah, so you see what I'm doing is just trying to make this feel as shiny as possible. Because Bug Boy is shiny. Let's not forget. It was kind of mucusy in this form. Yeah, there's texture to him as well. I'm going to get to that if I want to later. But he had this texture to him that was kind of creepy. Murky. That's the word. Hashtag that. Catch him down bad, beat it with a bat. Hashtag that. I'm on a new swag. Okay. We're trying to respectfully shade the dome. And Silver Snow is also here with the yo. What up? What'd he do? Hope you've been good. Hope you've been cool. Yo. Doom da doom doom. Doom da doom doom. Now this is shiny, but I want to know how I want this shine to be depicted. Carefully, cautiously, shinily, shinily, shinily. I knew a shinily back when I was younger. No, I didn't. I'm coming off incredibly racist. I wouldn't want to do that, given the conditions. Terms and conditions, of course. Put some shine over there as well. Got some shiny elbows. Some splingy elbows, as Suzu would say. Ooh, better charge that boy for that. The full time lapse. God damn this guy. Gonna know how I'm gonna get that to him. This shiny EXO. Ooh, look at that. It's forming a nice solid shape. I'm gonna play on that. Let me just see what I can get with that. Okay. We're having a fun time. Having a fun time. Your boy is having a fun time. Okay. Also, peep the socials. Check me out on there and just give your boy that support when you can. Catch me on Twitter and Instagram. Shit, I got distracted. What am I doing? I was just sitting down, folding my arms and looking at the screen. But that usually means I'm nearly done. So, all's well that ends well. Just like a cool, not cruel, like a cute dance between light and dark. Nasty ass egg sacs. I know it's not eggs he keeps in there. Probably his cell juniors. Ugh. Ugh. This is one nasty ass. This is gonna be a nasty ass sticker. I'll just see if I can get some more shiny points. Ooh. I mean, it proves its point, but like, goddamn, this is scary to consider. Anyway, Nobu Pabs, Pablo, welcome to the stream, my boy, my guy. Get rid of that bullshit. Get that back. Get the renders back, and get finally the EXO back. So now we have a shiny boy. So what I want to do is get a bit of dust on this boy, because he's got to be dusty. I'd like to make this a bit brighter. I'd like to merge these down. Let's see what happens if I do this. That's a bit better. Now what happens when I do this? That's a bit better. Kind of golden now instead of brownie. You know what happens when I do this? That feels better. It felt too bronze. It felt like a statue, like a, you know what I mean? So I can get rid of these now that I'm done with the renders. Change this back to white or gray. It's easy on the eyes that way. And I can feel a bit better. I feel a bit better, Mr. Smythe, that this is done. Yes. Is that me? God, I hope it's not. Yeah, it was. Okay. Ooh! Look at that, Cybercell. You know what? I'm digging it. What if I made the extra colors white? Because I gotta get an alt color scheme for Cell as well. So let me go with white. And actually black is where it's at. I love black. So like that's how you know it's it's something I've done using black. Because black is my color. I love black. It just speaks to me differently. Talks to me nicely. But I'll stick a pin in it. Stick a pin in it. For now, I like what this looks like, so let me just get the background sorted out. Get the back sorted out. So, elements, no. Textures, yes. And I want a industrial texture. Stone wall. Wasteland, that's better. I'm just doing the finishing. So hopefully that isn't too much of an issue. Put that back there. Get this. Leave that. Put some decay on the ground. Get that distorted. Give him a nice solid platform to walk on. Ah, shit. give him some groundwork. I'm gonna use my flat brush. Duplicate that, clear that, get me some shades on that, do that, and do that, and doing that. I'll say shading your line art is hella satisfying to do. Thank you very much. Oh, so CG, did you actually get the did you get the file? Did you get the line art folder? Did you get access? Did you any problems with importing it? I suppose you don't got Procreate. But was it easy to use on whatever platform you used? Or whatever software you used? Because I'd hate for anyone to have any complications when trying to access it. And I will just make the background like this sort of cave type deal. I want to put him coming out of a cave, so I'll just make that black. A cave, you alright? Black caves. Using Clip Studio, and yeah, it was no issue. That's what we love to hear. So it sounds like there's a party outside. Get that sorted. He was just in his little cell cave. I just turn that down a bit. Turn that down a bit. And this will be a wall type of thing. Let's get some stones. It makes sense in my head, don't worry about it. Get some shading. And of course some multiply here, because I would like this to very much say that he is a creepy creature. So just the wall, right? God, I hate doing backgrounds. This is it's only the small ones I want to do backgrounds for. You see, like the baby cell, I got him in a bit of I got a bit of background going on there, because I said baby cell for the tiny cell, little cell, as we famously dubbed him in the stream. I gave him a background because that was in fact one of the cutest things ever. Just floating around to that little tank thing of his. So then of course we got this form cell, just a more serious looking thing. Just giving him some of his own bits of exposition inside his own little cave here. Then put a shadow under the creature, because it is in fact, that's what it is, a creature. Then some more shadow. Actually, you know what you could do? You could just copy that, get that pasted. I know it's white, but once you make it black, problem solved. Distort it as well, put it just underneath the lad. It's a bit weird, so flip it, shrink it, pull it, tap it, whatever you want to do to it, all around bully it, because it ain't gonna matter. Since the shadow is going this way, you want that to show as well. I'm gonna warp it because it's being stubborn. No pitch. So it's on multiply, so if you blur it out, It's not too much trouble. Just reduce it a bit. Have that underneath. Then, just to add a bit of foreground spice, I will throw some color in there, like a leaf. What colors are leaves? Green. So we can do that using this. Again, I'll use my flat brush. Does wonders, this flat brush. Get that. See that? Like it's a tropical, like it's a bit of tropical, like it's a holiday card, you know? Come on, visit Casa El Cell. Greetings, I will be your entertainment for tonight. See that? Just look what a bit of color just does to the piece. Like even the most shady looking characters look like they could be a lot of fun. Right? Like he looks so shady, but like it could be fun, right? Let's not rule out the fact that we could have some fun here. Because look at that. He's got some green. He's got some foliage. Chances are he's just misunderstood. Just a bit misunderstood. Again, with the multiply, you can get all manners of details with the simplest of strokes. Because it's on multiply, it ain't gonna matter. Then to add some texture, just go rubbish with the brush. Just go stupid with it. Then again, duplicate that, clear it because you want a different form of shades. And again, you just do that. And again, you just do that. So that's somewhat alright. Forgot to clip that and clip that. And merge it together. We got nice shapes. I can take this anywhere I want to. Damn it. Put some more over there. And some more over here. Actually here. But this one will be bigger. Because, you know, like I said, tropical. Gaussian blur, so it looks like it's closer to us. Blur this one, so it looks like it's closer to us, but just a bit. And this one can remain the same. Then we can then bring back the shadows and highlights that we did earlier, but this time more atmospheric with the blue. Get that. Fill that. Get that to multiply. Because it's blue, it looks more, you know, it looks ambient. Damn. I don't even know if that was the right word, but it looks ambient. Like there's, you can trust it. It's trustworthy. But if I make it green, like the plants, it feels more. Yeah, fuck it. Okay, it's not working out for me. Pardon my language, but it's just not doing what I thought it would do. But if I set it instead as the highlight color, see that? It feels better. It feels better. So what I will instead do is brighten it up and duplicate it. Merge that down. And it looks nice. Like I said, holiday card. It looks like a cute little thing. Good morning, people. The GOAT, the D James. I was actually going to do the next headshot after this, but offline because I'm at work. So when I stream, it's not really work. It's kind of work, but it's not exactly work. It's side work, but like the commissions are work. So I was just going to do that, maybe hit you up. You going to bed soon? I was hoping to, I miss your voice as well, so I was hoping to hop in the embassy and just like, you know, maybe just do that with you while on the, you know, on a call with you. If you're cool with that, of course. Anyway, Nobu Pabs told us that his eyes were pinkish. So let's try and get that done. Not all the way red. A bit pinkish. Pablo. Sure, dude. Okay, then. I think this is cool. Let's just get a little bit of mystery in there. Like, I mean, this is all well and good, but like, we could still get some magic. You know, like from the dots of some mystery dots. That's not working out, so I will in fact have to use the studio pen blunt to just add some bits of mystique. I don't know why I'm going this hard on this little guy. I just feel like he doesn't get enough love, you know? Like, that's why I went like super seriously with the tiny one as well, Lil Cell. Cause like no one ever talks about these guys, so like I'm doing these just to like, for any enthusiasts that really like Cell, you know, like they can look at Daff as the guy to, you know, daff it up. He shows love to the loveless, you know, artistically. Like, look at how much love I'm giving this piece. Like, each and every single sprinkle of dew is hand-drawn. Hand-drawn. With my own goddamn hand. It's not goddamn. It's a beautiful hand blessed, given to me by my Lord and Savior. So I shouldn't call it a goddamn hand. Lord have mercy. With my own hands, I'm showing love to this piece. And, you know, anyone that sees that has something to look forward to. Like, damn, this guy really loves this piece. And it's not even a commission. Imagine how blessed commissions would be. Great, right? Then, last but not the least, the final bits of love. The Boublés, the broken lights, the piece de resistance. Let me set this to add, not screen. Then put some dirt in your eye. Nah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I love it. It's like so orderly. It's like so nice. Beautiful. And then, just to distinguish this, I will add the shadow behind so that the name is standoutish. Oh, you know what? I can even do this. And it disappeared. No, it didn't, because it's only clipped to it, so when I move it, then it disappears. But it's Cell that's back there, really. I wonder what it'll look like if I just put Cell's eyes there. Who's that creeping at my window? It's Lil Cell, Cell Jr., not Cell. It's a Roach-Cell, but like, you know what I mean. Yeah, as long as the eyes show, you can appreciate that. So I'm gonna turn that down. Let people know it's Cell. No, it's not working. I think the pure white is actually presents more of a dilemma for whoever's looking at it. So, yep, I'm okay with that. Paste that. Get to working on the layering. Lighten that. Gaussian blur. Oh my goodness, he is chrome-tastic. Put that at 3%. Duplicate that. Get that to the soft light. Get that again. Put that at 40. Not 40, 20. Not 20, 30. Maybe 30. No, not too. That's too much. Because I gotta see the back. And another one to screen it. Too much shadow, not enough light. Too much light, not enough shadow. Okay, if I increase the light and I increase the shadow, somewhat. And we have our beautiful roach. All done. So thank you everybody. Actually, no, you know what? We are going to, in fact, before I just wrap this up, let me just give this a nice name, Shine. Before I wrap this up, let's get to work on the alt colors. Oof. You can be flattened because that's the base. That's not change. Ooh, camouflage. How about that? We never considered camouflage. But there you have it, live and direct camouflage. Let's see. And this, okay, this is actually what camouflage would look like. He's got the ability to conceal himself in his environment. Oof. Oof. Vroom. Woof. Vroom. Woof. Vroom. Woof. Vroom. Vroom. I'm making my own sound effects. But anyway, oh, actually, if it was black, then it would be perfect camouflage. Vroom, 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 vroom. I was right the first time. White's the way to go. Anyway, okay, this will be my reference, and this will be my shades. What do I want? Brown is good. But I said something about whitish, grayish. Gray is cool. I like gray. Roach-Cell. Then this could be black. Oh, black is good as well. We work it out. And then maybe green for the gem. Now I'm losing the plot. Golden caboose. Is the stream almost over? Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are just popping in. Look, it's 1 hour 35 minutes. I was just about to leave. I just decided to do this choosing the alt colors live for some reason. Oh! What if the alt version, the crystals were shiny? What if that sack was black? Ooh. Okay. What if his headgear was black? Oh, I got it. I'm happy now. Look at that. Immaculate. Then maybe not yellow because he's still very young. I'll leave the gold bits to another. I will leave this part of our boy is brown. Oh, but this looks good as well. So his face can't be brown either. What color should his face be? Oh, black works. Damn, I am just ripping through this. White, finally. Red, yellow, green, blue. Oh, that blue looks nice. Like a crystal blue. Then his joints in particular. Not crystal. What color speaks to me? Purple? Should I go for purple? Because he is purple. Nah. You know what? Black it is. Let's just go with black for the whole thing because this is the roach form, so it's got to be different shades of black. Am I right or am I right? So let's just get this really dark black. And yeah. Nice headgear. I'm sorry, it's 6 a.m. for me. But glad to at least catch you for a minute. Yeah, I know. It is beautiful that we can have streams like this. Like I said, it's going to be, you can catch the replay. Watch the replay. You see what I said at the very beginning. And thank you, Quenzel123, for the follow. Appreciate you. Doing great with the support. The more we get, the more followers we get, the closer to the moon we get, because now we're at 200 followers. You're my 200th follower. So thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Gonna use it wisely, of course. And yeah, hopefully more can be done in the near future. Oh, that's a good color. I'll use it the same for the gem. And I guess maybe not brown, but like oh my goodness, I almost forgot. This should not be here. Copy that. Paste here, invert, multiply, and Bob's your uncle. Merge that down so I don't forget. Merge that down so I do not forget. Camouflage. Anyway. So yeah, Black Cell is in fact a go. I mean, come on. Did anyone expect anything different? My favorite color is black, for crying out loud. And that's that on that. It's just the spots are a different color, which is the deciding factor for the difference in his appearance. So, do I want to merge it? Do I want to merge it? I want to merge it. I'll merge it down. Zoom, zoom. And of course, there's camo mode. Vroom, 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 vroom. 1 minute he's there, the next he's gone. You gotta appreciate the ingenuity. And of course, the final finish for Cell in the natural habitat. He's a born and bred hunter, this guy. So, I guess with that being said, oh, that being said, thank you for stopping by. I will leave now to end the stream. Oh, geez, my cough. But thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate you all. Giving a shout out to those who stopped in. Joao, thank you. Love to see you. I'm sorry it's 6. Oh, yeah, I spoke to you. Trace Apocalypse, thank you for still sticking through. Quencel, all this on Procreate. Absolutely. We love Procreate. We do everything we can on Procreate, and we appreciate what Procreate does for me. Shout out to Monty. Thanks for stopping by. Get some breakfast. Catch you in the embassy. Absolutely. Just woke, so I can't stay. I have to get ready for my day, but I could not come by to wish y'all a nice day. Thank you so much. Hey, what up? The cell do be looking clean. Thank you, Dom. Always the best kind of foresight with you. Appreciate that. And shout out to you guys for sticking by. I will see you another time. Hopefully not too long from now. And, we'll see you in the near future. Peace, peace. Shalom.